Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back to Poppy Culture Podcast, episode 56. I'm Jay.
I'm Adrian. And we are here back with pop culture, movie, comic book, TV, podcast, drinking, alcoholic, women, whiskey. I'm getting off track here.
Yeah, I'm liking where this is going.
Yeah.
But
We tried to do a new segment this morning called How Much Blow Can I Go? And it's a lot of blow, guys.
yeah.
I'm crashing real hard.
What he doesn't know is that was actually two mornings ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
How did I get
yeah.
my new comics then? Wait a minute. Okay. I see what you did there.
All right.
You almost got me.
I almost got you.
Speaking of drinking and not blow, we have a whiskey sour.
That's right.
Now, we have a traditional whiskey sour minus the egg white because I just can't bring myself to do it.
I know.
I sent Jay a message over the weekend. I don't know how whiskey sour popped into my head.
I don't know either.
The only ones I've ever had are always those really sweet and sour sauces put in and then whiskey, and it's never actually good. So I squeezed half a lemon. There's a cherry in there. You can even see like the lemon rind.
Yeah.
Whiskey, and then a simple syrup because it calls for some sugar.
Right.
I made the simple syrup for you to make old fashioned when you come over.
True story.
So let's give that a shot, and then I'll explain what we were going to have and why we're not actually having that.
Oh. That is much better than any whiskey sour I've had before.
It is really sour, though.
It is. I mean, I guess that's why they call it a whiskey sour.
I wonder if it should have had a little bit more simple syrup.
No, I think it's good.
You solid with that one?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so tell us the tragedy. I'm assuming it might be a comedy. I don't know.
Yeah, I could drink a couple of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We were going to have the Fix from Elysian. I sent you a photo of it on Sunday.
You did.
I had a couple of them. It is a chocolate coffee imperial stout. It's delightful. As you guys know, we're big Elysian fans here. You know, they're corporate. And I really wanted Jay to try it. So I took a photo of it. You love it. I love. So then I had to figure out where am I going to get it at. I go to Special Brews, but they are dead to me.
Yes, yeah, as they should be.
The other option is the Cave, the place that had the mold on the bottle at one time.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, man, I don't want to go there. So I stopped by Fred Meyer. They didn't have it. I went to Malt and Vine. They were sold out.
Ugh.
And I'm like, fuck, all right, I'll go to the Cave. Fine. And it's under remodel, so hopefully things are going well that they're doing remodeling.
Sure. Now it's just sheetrock dust on all the beer.
No, I wish. That would have been fun.
Oh, no.
So I walk in, and I open the door. I'm like, oh. Like, I am taken aback. Have you done the Red Hook Brewery Tour?
Yeah.
You know when you go to the location where they're actually storing the beer that's being fermented?
Yeah.
And it has that yeast smell?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Imagine that smell amplified and slightly rancid. It stunk. So for those who aren't familiar, that is when the yeast is eating away and releasing all the sugar with mold. Essentially, that's all it is at the bottom of the beer that's being created. Molded yeast. And it just had that smell. So imagine like stinky mold and like soggy bread just hitting your nose.
That's terrible.
And I'm in there trying to find the beer, and it's getting worse to the point where I'm all like, I look over at the people who own it, and they're not making a look like
They're used to it.
Like maybe they could apologize and be like, hey, I'm sorry about the smell. One of our pipes broke. I know it's a little weird.
Nothing.
And I'm like, nothing. I'm like, oh, okay. And as I'm leaving, some guy opens the door for me and does this. Oh. So clearly there is something fucking wrong with this place. First the mold on the bottles, and now this. Like, you're not brewing beer. You have kegs. What the fuck is going on? Like, are you doing a home brew and not telling people? Like,
Right, yeah.
Are you making your own beer and replacing that? Like, what the fuck? So I'm like, you don't know. Screw it. I have whiskey at the house. All I need to do is buy lemon and whiskey sour as it is.
All right. Maybe I will swing by Norm's on Saturday to see if they have any Fix.
Yeah, I think you'll really like it.
Yeah.
Jay and I are getting together for Saturday because that is going to be the next UFC fight.
That's right.
All right. What about you? Let's jump into the meat of things. Let's start with TV.
Okay.
What you got?
I've watched a shit ton of TV. I've been off. I worked today and yesterday, but then I've been off since the day before Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yeah, sure. So let's start with Degrassi, because you and I had already talked a little bit about Degrassi. I finished The Kids of Degrassi Street,
Okay.
so I no longer feel like a total pedophile.
Like the guy from Glee.
I don't get that.
It was in the news this morning.
Oh.
The guy who played like the Butch character from Glee. The fuck off, I remember his name. He was the jock who reluctantly joined the Glee Club.
Sure.
Was found with child pornography on his computers.
Shocking.
And he's now under arrest.
Okay. So finished Kids of Degrassi Street, graduated up to Degrassi Junior High, which was delightful. It reminded me a lot of the first season of Saved by the Bell, where they were in junior high and they had Miss Bliss as the teacher. Like
Okay,
I felt like
yeah.
I was watching that.
Okay,
And
that's good.
That's okay. That was a great show. They dealt with a lot of the same issues. There's an episode where two of the kids smoked. Right? Not cigars this time, normal cigarettes. But
Oh, that sounds delightful right now.
right?
Yeah.
One of the girls got pregnant, had a baby.
In junior high?
Yeah. What junior? That was normal at my junior high.
Are you kidding me?
No.
What years did you go to junior high?
98 through 2000.
So 7th and 8th grade.
6th, 7th, 8th grade.
Let's say our junior high was 7th and 8th
Yeah,
grade only.
most of them are
But still,
in
like-
Everett, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we had at least one girl that had the baby and at least 3 that had abortions.
I'm Mexican and we waited till
Yeah.
sophomore year.
No, I know.
Like responsible adults do.
Sorry, you missed out?
Apparently, jeez.
I mean, yeah.
No, that's fine. I get it. Carry on.
Yeah, so the junior high was really good. Now I'm about halfway through Degrassi High. And then I've got the first disc of Degrassi The Next Gen waiting for me when I finish that. Do you want to know how many seasons of Degrassi The Next Gen there is?
I do.
8.
So how many seasons of Degrassi from beginning till when you finish are you going to go through?
So Kids of Degrassi Street
Can't
was
wait to
just
hear
1.
this. Yeah? Huh?
Degrassi Junior High was 3.
4.
And then Degrassi High School is 2.
So we're 6.
And then Next Gen is 8.
So you're at 14.
Yes. But you know what the best part is once that's all done?
There's more.
Do you know what's premiering in the middle of January?
The new Degrassi?
Degrassi, what is it? Degrassi Next or something like that.
Yes.
On Netflix. Netflix brought Degrassi back.
So essentially Netflix has decided to take everything you love and just keep giving
Yeah.
it to you.
No. I'm pretty sure they're just watching them and Ruffles are just watching
Ruffles.
everything I do. Except fuck you, Ruffles, for changing my all dressed.
They were bad, guys. Real bad. Which reminds me, there's actually a box waiting for us at the warehouse.
Nice.
So
Nice. So yeah, Degrassi, it's great. Like I said, I'm halfway through the high school years now. They're dealing with abortion and abusive relationships. One of the guys is beating up on his freshman girlfriend because that's what happens.
But does she have it coming?
Of course.
Well, then I
I mean,
don't.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
One of the characters' parents died, so he's dealing with that. Yeah. And actually, it's funny, I've been tweeting about Degrassi on my personal Twitter account, and there's somebody out there with a Degrassi account that's been, like, responding to my tweets.
You're kidding me.
No. Like, it's not an official Degrassi account.
Right. It's just a
but-
fan account.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow. Like you've made it then.
I know,
You
right?
are the pinnacle of Degrassi fandom.
I am, yeah.
Maybe it's time you get like, I don't know, a tattoo, matching outfits. Can you wear the clothes that are in the show?
Oh, yeah, because it's the same clothes that are on the racks right now, because as we were talking, all the 80s fashion is back.
Oh, it's back, kids.
And I know it's something that people have been saying for a while, but I'm watching the show and I'm like, it's the skinny jeans, it's the horribly patterned button-up shirts that button up all the way.
All the way.
It's the high tops with the tongue sticking out,
That's right. Get your Air Force Ones back in.
right? Yeah. No, I'm thinking about changing my ringtone on my phone to the Degrassi High theme.
Wow.
Right?
I'm at a loss, but I really want to see you in the shirt and the
Right.
jeans. 'Cause I'm already wearing the slim fit
Yeah,
jeans,
yeah,
so we
yeah.
can just get you in the shirt You'll be fine.
Nice.
All right. So you're loving Degrassi.
That's where it's at.
Where it is not at is Gotham.
No?
Dropped it.
Really?
Yes.
Did you finish through the mid-season?
Nope.
Oh.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
All right.
The last one I watched, God, I was like barely paying attention. It was after the Firefly, where Silver St. Cloud meets Selena for the first time and they're fighting over Bruce.
There's a lot of good things that happen after that episode.
Yeah, well, that episode was the final nail in that Gotham coffin.
Okay.
So I'm done with Gotham.
Okay.
I look forward to your continual reviews. I'm now putting the onus on you
Sure.
to keep me up to date with what's going on with Gotham.
Yeah.
In exchange, I will keep you up to date with the television show called Telenovela, starring Eva Longoria.
Yeah. I don't think I can do that one.
My exact notes were full of a bunch of meh moments with some funny.
Okay.
It was not great.
Okay.
Eva Longoria is the main star of the show, and essentially she's also the star of this telenovela that the show's all based around. It's
Right.
everything that happens behind the scenes
Yeah.
all this, and it's like that one little portion. Like that would have made it a great pilot, and then they really delved into everything else.
Okay.
But we are now 3 episodes in, and I am done.
Okay.
Jessica likes it. It's not so bad where I leave the couch. Like, it's fine. I'll sit there and play on the laptop and whatever. Really what I do is I just take the Wii U gamepad and play games while
Sure.
she's watching.
Yeah.
But it is, no es bueno.
Okay.
No es bueno.
I will leave that one to you then.
Yeah, no, you do Gotham, I'll do telenovela,
Okay.
and we'll get that covered.
Okay. Another thing I watched, Jess and I watched, we finished Californication.
Okay.
Finally finished that. Got through all 7 seasons of it. And I've been telling people about it, and they're like, "So what is it?" And I'm like, "It's this really, really great show it's very well written. The plot's really good. Like all the storylines are good, and then there's tons of tits everywhere.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, like for a 22-minute episode, like there's a lot of tits.
The show is pretty much David Duchovny's decline, like in real life,
Yeah.
filmed edition.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when we first started watching it, like a year ago, Jess was like, "Isn't he like addicted to sex and drugs?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah. And as we're watching, she's like, either they wrote this show about his struggle with it, or he became addicted because of this show.
Yeah.
Because the show is just, it's sex and drugs and
Yeah.
like piles of cocaine and like all kinds of stuff. So I do recommend it though, if you don't mind tits.
I'm more of an ass man, personally.
There's tons of that too.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I got a new show to watch when the wife's not around. I mean, I really just been watching Pornhub when she's not around, but I'll switch over to Californication.
yeah, there you
like,
go.
they're both free. They're
Yeah.
both available on the
Right.
internet.
You're like, no, this was on normal TV. Like,
Yeah. Can't get in trouble for that shit, right?
No.
That reminds me when we get off air to clean my history.
Yeah. Always clear that. I just set my Firefox to automatically delete.
See, I should just always open incognito with browsers.
Right.
Did you watch anything else?
TV wise, I don't think so. I think that was it.
Okay. I watched one other show. It was called Superstore.
What?
It's a new show. Airs on NBC next week.
Oh, they're still making TV.
Yeah, they're still making TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, NBC still makes some TV shows.
Nice.
They can't just ride on the laurels of all that sweet Saturday Night Live money.
That's true.
Man, that show's bad. I've been trying to watch it every now and then. It's always disappointing. Anyways,
They have a couple good skits here and there, and I really think they just need to take it off air and just throw skits on YouTube.
YouTube. Like, that would
That's
be
it.
smart.
Yeah.
It's called Superstore. It's new What is her name?
America Ferrera.
Thank you. It's her new show. It airs next week, but they're letting you watch the first 3 episodes on Hulu.
Okay.
And essentially, it all is based in this Walmart. It's not a Walmart. It's called Cloud9. And she's the floor supervisor. The manager's a schmuck. The head of security is this crazy, ready-to-action woman.
Okay.
And then it's all about this new hire guy who there's clearly romantic chemistry with her and America. And that's basically all it is. The first episode was introducing him. The second episode was all about Cloud9, which is a superstore, released a new brand of salsa called Senor Cloud. So everyone who was trying to sell it was using fake Mexican accents. She found it very offensive. And then she found out that the money went to charity, so then she started doing it, and it just kind of spirals from there. The third episode, it was so lackluster, I can't even remember what happened.
Okay.
But I watched 3.
Sure.
I don't know if I'm going to watch more. It just felt very flat for me.
Okay.
Like, there are a couple funny moments in it, and she does a very good job. Her and the male lead do a very good job. But by the third episode, it was already repetitive. So either they're going to have to... Either these are not the actual first 3, and they're just the 3 that are on Hulu, which I'd be okay with, or they need to change it real fast come that 4th episode.
Okay.
So, Superstore.
All right. I got a question for you. That's
Word.
sort of TV and movie related. Do you ever watch anything on Amazon Prime Video?
I really should. I don't.
Okay.
Because I pay for it.
So, that's where Degrassi Junior High and Degrassi High are.
Oh, okay.
They're not streaming on Netflix. They're streaming on Prime, which is whatever. I have a lot of fucking problems with the way they do their thing.
So tell me about it.
And I don't know if it's just because I've been with Netflix for so long that I'm used to theirs. But so like Netflix, if you want to add a show to your list or whatever, you hit add to list and it adds the entire show, right?
Right.
On Prime Video, you have to add individual seasons.
Shut the fuck up. Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
So like I had added what I thought was all of Degrassi Junior High. It ended up only being season 1. So when it was done with season 1, it just went back to the main menu. Like, what happened? And I go and I click on it again, and it just brings up episode 1 of season 1. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? So I go back out, and yeah, it's each individual season you have to add. And then their interface on both my smart TV and my Roku.
Oh, they're real bad interface. You have to add things to your list via computer. You can't add using your devices.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so if you are watching something, you go back to the main menu. Say I've watched parts of season 1 and season 2 of Degrassi. It shows them as separate individual things on there. So like, why do I see 3 Degrassi Junior High things when I've only watched? What's the difference? So each one is the contents of, or the container for the episodes from that season. And if you want to go to your watch list, it's not the first thing that's there. It's like 5 menu items down.
That's super annoying. I'll give them an out. It's still a really shitty out, though. Because they sell them. Unlike Netflix, you can't buy seasons to watch without a subscription.
Right, you can buy individual seasons.
Right.
Sure.
The other thing, possibly, and again, I know the one bonus to Prime Video is you can download them to your smart device.
Right.
So maybe that way, when you add a season to your watch list, it doesn't download the entire show, but just that one season at a time. Like,
That's no.
maybe.
Like, my thing is, it should be able to. I think that the interface needs to be smart to recognize, oh, this is just somebody watching an episode versus a Prime member who's streaming, and it should be able to like show it differently that way.
More than that, do what Netflix does when you add the disc. Do you want to add this disc or all of
them.
this?
Yeah.
You can do like add this season or all seasons. Yep. Nope. You're right.
So Amazon, fix that shit. And if you want some ideas, give me a call. I'll drive down to your office.
They actually don't listen to this show. I got this. Ruffles. Contact Amazon. Tell them to contact Jay. Don't contact me. I'll just curse at you guys.
That's true.
Did you watch any movies?
I watched one movie.
One movie?
One movie.
Was it called Juan the movie, or what
No.
did you watch?
I watched Fury 7.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that in theaters.
After the disc sitting at my apartment for 2 months waiting to watch it.
You finally got around to it. The awesome part when one car went through a building, through another building, and stopped in the third building.
So fucking bad.
Oh, yeah.
But here's my thing.
That's going to be who's making the next Star Trek movie.
I don't think that's the worst part of that movie.
No, hell no. The movie was horrible.
Like as far as like physics and science goes, the scene where fucking Letty drifts around that dirt edge to pick up Paul Walker as he's hanging off the truck.
Yeah. When he pulls the Angelina Jolie scene from Wanted, when she flips the car and he drops in while they're turning. Yeah.
That car would, if you're in loose dirt like that, your car's not going to do an arc perfectly around it. You're flying the fuck off that cliff.
Sure.
But no, he grabs onto the spoiler and she tows him around like he's on a wakeboard.
Because you're not a superhero like they are. I watched the very first Fast and the Furious, and then Jess and I saw 7 in the movie theater.
Oh.
So I did not know.
So you didn't know anything else.
I did not know how they went from assholes driving cars and stealing DVD players to superheroes.
Yeah.
Like that gap was huge
I mean,
for me.
to be fair, I watched them in order, and I still don't understand where they made that transition.
I think it was like as soon as The Rock showed up.
Yeah.
Speaking of, though, it's funny you say that. I have a little bit of movie news.
Okay.
It is rumored that The Rock and Hulk Hogan will be starring in Expendables 4.
Yeah.
So,
Whatever.
dude, come on. Hulk Hogan's going to be the villain in Expendables 4.
Yeah. He was the villain in WCW for like 8 years. He's got practice.
I know.
He is Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Well, now that he's kicked out of the WWE,
Yeah.
like he's
Yeah,
there,
he is.
he's out of the Hall of Fame. He's out of everything now. So he did an interview about 5 months ago saying, you know, Sylvester Stallone gave him his first shot in the movies with Rocky, and he's really happy to be working with him again on his next Expendables and this and that. Next interview he had about a month later, he goes, "Oh no, we've never talked about it." So apparently, because Sylvester Stallone has not announced Expendables 4, it's not in official production.
Oh.
So I think he got a shut your mouth.
Yeah. Like, hey Hulk, you should learn by now. Just don't say things.
Yeah. Hey, brother, shut up. Okay, so you watched.
Yeah.
Furious 7.
That's fucking.
You ready for number 8? How did you feel about the end where they do the
tribute?
2-minute Paul Walker
I
tribute?
thought that was good. I thought that was classy of them
So for those of you, I'm sure you all know, Paul Walker died.
because of Porsche. It's all Porsche's fault.
He was street racing, thinking he was in the Fast and Furious, and he got in a wreck and died.
Except he wasn't even driving.
I know. Just
That's the thing that fucking drives me crazy.
anywho.
Okay.
So they ended the movie with his character deciding he's giving it all up and he's going to go be a family man.
Right.
Now, obviously, he's done this at 3 other movies, I think.
Yeah.
But this time it's really going to stick. So they kind of did like this little montage at the end of him and all the other movies and all his big moments as he's driving away, kind of leaving the life behind.
Right.
So who's going to replace him as Vin Diesel's new boyfriend?
His brother, right? I mean, that's...
No, they're not. They're going to introduce a new character. They have to, right?
Yeah. No, I think they're going to introduce his brother as the new character.
Shut up.
You don't think so? He's got experience in the film now. He was in like a third of this movie.
No. I don't know.
Shia LaBeouf.
Obviously, they're making another one. They're also making a TV show.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing a TV show.
It's not Fast and Furious TV show. Vin Diesel's making a Riddick TV show.
Oh, yeah. We'll see how that goes.
For me, for movies, I watched Star Wars Episode 7. I can't comment on it because the other person in my house hasn't watched it yet. So, yeah. I also watched Night Before.
Okay.
Starring Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who, dreamy.
Sure.
I can admit it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Very comfortable in
It was weird when his voice dropped 8 octaves.
during Third Rock from the Sun.
Well, and I never watched the end of that show, but I definitely remember being the young, like, squeaky kid, whatever.
Yeah.
And then next thing I see him in was 500 Days of Summer, and his voice didn't seem that low then. And then he's in the Batman movie, and all of a sudden he's like, "My name's Robin." Like, just fucking...
Man.
Is he like, gargling gravel before his scenes?
Well, yeah, Christian Bale actually requires that everybody just smokes 9 packs of cool menthols before every scene.
Whoa, wait, what's wrong with menthols?
Nothing, but there's a lot of things wrong with cool menthols.
Oh, well, okay, I see where you're going there. Yeah.
Yeah, not cool as in COOL. Yes, menthols are cool.
With a K.
I'm talking about the KOOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ethnic cigarette, as it were.
I thought that was Newport's. Am I out of touch with my black community?
A little bit.
Oh, damn.
Shout out to my homies out there. 100%. Throw your hood up. Anyways, so I won't talk about Star Wars 7 Night Before. It was freaking hilarious.
Yeah?
I don't like a lot of Seth Rogen movies.
No.
I don't think Pineapple Express was hilarious. Like, everyone's like, that movie was hilarious. It wasn't. It was fine. And when it was billed to me, this was like, oh, it's the new Pineapple Express.
Oh.
And I'm all like, motherfucker, now I don't want to watch it.
Right?
So then a buddy of mine was like, no, it's actually really funny. I'm like, all right, I trust your movie reviews enough that I will go because of that. So I went, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's the lead. He's your A character.
Okay.
Anthony Mackie's B, and Seth Rogen just brings it up as the C character. He's just there with their stories.
Okay.
The movie actually had a plot, which I was surprised by.
Oh, really?
I did not think it was going to have a plot.
I didn't know Seth Rogen could do plots.
Well,
I
as it
guess
turns
if
out-
he's the C character, it doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Just be on set and say something.
So as it turns out, Justin Gordon-Levitt's parents died on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
So him and his two buddies, the three of them, always spend the holiday together.
Okay.
And they now have very strict traditions. They always wear silly sweaters. They always do karaoke. They eat at the same Chinese restaurant, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
Well, at this point, Seth Rogen's married. His wife is about to give birth. Anthony Mackie is a huge star, athlete star. So they just can't do it anymore. So this is their last time
Okay.
out. You find out before this happened that Justin Gordon-Levitt, a couple months before, broke up with the girl that was the one he let get away
Sure.
because he's not ready to commit because he can't get close to people because of what happened to his parents, and he's just having a really big struggle with it. So that you run into her at the beginning, it's very clearly she's the one who got away. So the whole point of the movie is actually getting her back.
Okay.
You also find out Anthony Mackie's character has been doing steroids. That's why he's been blowing up so much. The two friends are kind of accusing him of it. He's having a hard time coming to terms with that. And then the final piece of it is Seth Rogen. That this is his last time, and his wife was like, "You've been so supportive. You've been my rock. My gift to you on your last time is this little box of drugs.
Oh, jeez.
Go sick. You can never do any of this stuff again. You're never going out on your like Christmas Eve again. Like this is it. So go sick." So he's stoned the entire time
Of course.
because
It's Seth Rogen.
he has
Yeah.
to be. It's really funny though the way it comes into play. Like it's just every now and then. It's not to the point where it became obnoxious.
Okay.
It was very funny. James Franco's dick makes an
I
appearance.
was gonna say, where do we see James Franco in this? Because he has to be there.
You do see him. He makes an appearance as does his dick. And the dialogue around it is fucking hilarious.
Okay.
Like I was in tears. My wife won't watch that portion of the movie.
Well,
She
no.
was hiding her
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
face, but she was laughing at what she
Just
was
the
hearing.
dialogue, yeah.
It was very funny.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
I strongly recommend it.
Good.
The other movie we watched was a much older movie called, I don't know, little movie Alien. You may be aware of this movie.
Is that the one with the metal guy from the future?
No.
Uh-oh.
That's Fast and Furious 8. Just wait. They're going to tie it all together, baby. No, Alien, honestly.
What kind of supercharger do you have in there? It's a T1000.
Oh! It's liquid metal cooled. Alien, starring Sigourney Weaver. Jess had never seen it before. And I'm like, all right, let's watch the first one.
Yeah.
It's very clearly dated. The effects are super dated. The
Right.
dialogue, the fashion, everything. The electronic
Just
system.
wait, the fashion will come back around.
Oh, yeah, no, it did in the 90s. So we have to wait till 2020 until it comes back again.
Okay.
It's all very dated,
Yeah.
but the suspense still stays there.
Okay.
Obviously, the alien is no longer scary, but the suspense of when it shows up, that to me is the sign that this movie has that staying power. I didn't feel the suspense because I watched it so many times. I could
Right.
tell you every single
yeah.
moment this is about to happen. But she did. Like, you could tell she had that suspense and the... Like, so it was good. I enjoyed rewatching it as I always do.
Cool.
That's it for movies for me.
All right.
I want to talk to you about two podcasts.
'Kay.
One we've been listening to at the same time. The other one you haven't listened to.
Right.
First, let's talk Serial.
Okay.
Season 2, Episode 3.
Yep.
We learn all about Bergdahl's being tortured. Light torture.
Yeah.
His attempted escapes and his continued stupidity.
Sure.
Fill everybody in.
So this episode we hear a lot about, like you're saying, this is the episode about his incarceration and him trying to get out. And they're describing kind of like where he was being held, which was kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
Like real gross. It's like a hut, and he's just like shitting and pissing in the corner. Except all he has is the corner, so he's in it all the time. And
At a certain point, they chain him to the bed, so he's shitting on himself
Yep.
for days on end.
yeah, and he talks about finding out. He said at some point I realized that the more disgusting I was, the less they would bother me. So I would just roll around in my own shit so that they wouldn't want to come near me. I'm like, oh, well, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, you're an asshole, but that still sucks that you had to do that.
So at a certain point, by the end of episode 3, I'm like, man, I really feel bad for this guy.
Yeah, right?
And then I was telling a buddy of mine about it because he is in the military but hasn't listened to it. And then I got all sorts of anger again as I was explaining why he left base. And then I'm like, nah, I don't feel bad anymore.
Yeah, he fucking deserved that.
Yeah, we lost American lives
Yeah.
to find this asshole. We lost millions of dollars. We lost information. We lost prisoners. We negotiated for this asshole.
Yeah.
So you know what? No, now I feel less sorry for him.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so it's just he talks about some of his escape attempts and how he lowered himself out of the window. This makes no sense to me. How the fuck did he get out this window in this guarded place and get away with nobody seeing his ass?
So he said he used the bar that used to. There's a couple things in it that don't make sense to me.
Absolutely.
So his legs were bound together initially with a bar between them.
Yeah.
And then he was able to get that bar and hide it. You're telling me they didn't fucking come in one day and be like, what is? Where's the bar? What
Right.
is? Oh, no, we never had one on you?
Yeah,
Nah,
right.
forget it.
Oh, we must have
I'll
forgot
go. Let's
that.
go play the soccer. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. And he talks about how at one point it was like a mud hut he was in, so he jammed it through the wall so he could piss through it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, nobody outside's like, what is that raining sound? Because he was in the second story.
That's right.
And
He
I'm
was
like,
15 feet high.
So there's shit in this that definitely does not make sense.
And then he used that metal bar to bend the other bars to escape through the window.
yeah,
Still does not make sense
No.
to me.
No.
That doesn't even work in movies.
no. And if you're all tied up, hands and legs tied up, you're not gonna get enough leverage to get that thing positioned right to lever those out.
He also mentioned that he got a little piece of metal that after weeks of melding it into a key to unlock his shackles.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Is he like whittling that thing away with his?
Not only that, but how do you know how to take one piece of metal and whittle it? You're a fucking private. I understand we have the greatest military in the world. I do not discount that. They don't teach you how to make a fucking key out of this one piece of metal that happens to fit the handcuffs you're in.
And they even talked about the one of the training courses he had to go through in his initial boot camp training was escape training, but that he only got the like 20,000 foot view course where it's we teach you a little bit and we say if you don't feel safe, don't try. Like that's he didn't go through any advanced like lock picking classes or shit like that. No.
So there's a lot of this that is loophole. My anger got more infuriated. Obviously, the loss of the lives is the most frustrating part for me. I spoke with somebody who my connection to will remain anonymous. How I spoke to them will become anonymous. Who is aware of the situation because he spoke to people in his platoon at the time because he was stationed very close.
Right.
Additionally, knew not his commanding officer, but a commanding officer at that base.
Right.
Who explained that the whole time Bergdahl, everyone would tell you there was something clearly wrong with him from the get-go. That he would say things like he himself could end this war, like he treated the whole thing like it was a fucking movie. Like he did not have the grasp or realization what was going on.
Right.
And that is very apparent now listening to him, which makes me so angry.
Yeah. But I'm totally gonna keep listening.
Oh yeah, no, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm there. At the end of season 1, like I was really like, maybe this guy is innocent. Maybe he's guilty, but maybe he's innocent. Like I have no doubt that at the end of season 2, I'm gonna be like Bergdahl's a fucking asshat.
Oh yeah,
Like up and down.
No doubt. So at the end of season 1, oh god, what was
Adnan.
not Adnan, the guy who turned Adnan in, the witness?
Oh, his friend.
Yeah, Ray, Jim, something really generic name like that.
But he was a black guy. So
Yeah.
it's a generic like Dewan.
Oof. Look, I've already made one racist comment.
Yeah,
like,
no,
we
you
can't-
filled your quota. Now I got to fill mine.
Oh boy,
Yeah. Anyways, his buddy that turned him in.
he's the one I don't fucking trust. Like, not at all. However, Adnan is getting an appeal.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope that they at least mention it on Serial. Like, hey, quick flashback. This
Right.
is what's going on with the appeal. Yay. Because I don't think he did it. I
No.
really don't think he did it.
And I lean more towards him not doing it, but you're supposed to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, and there is more than a reasonable doubt.
Unfortunately, there are definitely things against him.
Sure.
For sure, there are huge red flags. Speaking of another, I'll move on to another podcast I've been listening to. It's called Lore.
Yeah.
I've only listened to the first 3 episodes. It's great.
Okay.
So Lore is it's not on Stitcher, which was really weird
Whoa,
for me.
what?
Yeah, it's just on iTunes or downloaded from the website.
That's weird.
Yeah, right?
Because Stitcher...
Yeah, I know.
I guess I did have to submit our feed to Stitcher. Yeah, all right.
So it's not on Stitcher, so
They hate Android. Whatever.
you have to actually go to this crazy thing called a computer, or your tablet, I guess is fine too. It's called Lore. It's essentially roots all of the old lore that we have of horror and fear in reality. So it started out, the very first one was Dracula and vampires. Where did this whole Dracula thing come from? Where was the actual theory of vampires? How did it get rooted? And it goes through it historically. It was really interesting. Like, they gave, like, we all know it all came from Dracula and Vlad the Impaler.
Right.
We all know that.
Yeah.
But to how it got to Bram Stoker, who wrote the book Dracula and like everything else, like he filled you in on everything
Interesting.
in 18 minutes.
Wow.
And I'm all like, dude, 18 minutes later, that was like super, super well done.
Yeah.
The second one was all about ghosts and our fear of the dark and what had happened in this coal mine that was going on in Colorado.
Okay.
So it is a phenomenal podcast. They're pretty short. It's only about 20-minute episodes. I don't recommend you guys choosing them over us,
No.
but you can choose it on like the weeks that we're not here. Like last week, I
Yeah.
was super sick. We didn't record. Then listen to a lore episode.
Yeah.
Don't listen to it instead of
No.
us. Unless, what if we played one on a speaker and they could watch us listening to lore? That way they got fixed from us and lore at the same time. Is that too
And-
meta?
No, because that's less work we have to do.
Hey, join us next week where you will watch us listen to lore.
All right. Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be easy to edit that one.
Whew. All right. Or also, he also puts all the manuscripts or transcripts up. We
Oh.
can just read the lore transcripts and pretend that we wrote it.
Like a radio play.
Yeah. We
Like,
just, yeah. So
yeah.
when he says, hi, my name is,
Jay.
bam,
Damn.
done.
All right.
All right.
Wow. Why didn't we think of this earlier?
I don't know. Plagiarism was never my strong suit. I always forgot to change the names when I submitted the essays.
Oh, you actually had to turn them in?
Yeah. I think that's how school works.
That makes so much more sense.
Remedial math served you well, buddy.
Okay.
All right. Let's move into comic books.
All right.
You have a hefty stack in front of you.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
So you want me to do mine first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I got Superman Annual 3, Superman Wonder Woman Annual 2, Superman Wonder Woman 24, Superman Lois and Clark number 3, Deadpool and Cable number 1.
Oh, God, are they doing that again?
It's only going to be a 3-part series.
Okay.
And I'm only getting it because the Cable part.
Sure.
Can't stand Deadpool. Birthright 12, because we were shorted on our shipment. Gotham Academy 13, because we were shorted on our...
You
I
should just
know.
throw that one away now.
I'm probably going to.
Let me know how it ends, because I didn't finish it.
Justice League 47, Rat Queens 14, Obi-Wan and Anakin number 1, James Bond number 3, The Flash 47, and Wonder Woman 47. This will probably be one of the last weeks where my pull list is going to be this big. I have gone through a great culling of my books. The majority of them are Marvel.
Well, obviously.
With that said, I'll be picking them all up in trade paperback form.
Of course. you
Because I can't actually not stop reading, but I can stop reading weekly.
See, and I can't... Like, obviously, I've talked about my aversion to trade paperbacks.
Sure.
Even more than an aversion to trade paperbacks is a mixed media for my... Like, I can't do something where I have some singles and a trade.
Oh, no, that's why So, Marvel was the perfect spot, because all Marvel... all restarted at number 1.
Oh,
So guess
there you
what?
go.
You guys started on yourselves.
All right, fair enough.
No, you're right. I have issues 1 through 12 single and 13 through on trade.
Right.
Hell no, I would go and shoot myself.
The only thing I ever did that with I can't even remember what it is now. I have something where I have the first 3 trades and then the next like the last 5 issues in single, and it drives me crazy. I look at it all the time. I'm like, fuck you.
No,
But I'm not gonna get rid of those singles to get a trade.
No, but I would be.
But yeah.
I would be the asshole who would then just like go buy that last trade.
Yeah, I
and
know
be
you
like
do.
done.
Yeah. So, okay. So this is essentially 1 week's worth of comics for you, except those 2 issues.
Except for those 2 issues. Yeah.
So I have not been to the comic shop in 2 months. And this is what was waiting for me there after 2 months.
Let's count those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got?
Okay, so in those 2 months, I accumulated Invincible. Where are my numbers here? 125 and 126. Lazarus number 20 and 21. Green Lantern 46 and 47.
I'm super curious. You do know about these bagged covers.
I
right?
do not. I was actually going to ask you about that.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Batman 46 and 47. Sinestro 17 and 18. Batgirl number 46, which I saw somewhere that Batgirl was one of the top 10 books of the year. I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I read that same article and I laughed.
Revival number 35. And Dark Knight 3 book 1, which I didn't ask for, but I was curious. So that's 2 months worth of comics.
Real disappointing.
That's what I hear.
Real disappointing.
That's what I hear.
Okay.
And I did not realize until just this moment that I fucking paid $6 for that book.
There's also a $13 collector's edition that comes out the week after. So,
Okay.
Jay has here, for these of you who are watching, it's this black bag, and it says Green Lantern, Harley Little Black Book. So they're doing the Harley Little Black Book variant covers.
Okay.
Every DC book has a poly-bagged variant cover. The Green
It's
Lantern,
like 1992 still.
yes and no. The Green Lantern is a Darwin Cook one. and
Okay.
it's really awesome. I really like it. It comes in 4 different options.
Okay.
Full color, just inked, sketch, and then the rare actual pencils.
Oh.
So you don't know what you're getting.
Okay.
Obviously, I doubt you're getting the actual pencils.
Probably,
Who knows?
yeah, right.
The sketch cover is what they're calling it.
Sure.
But there is that possibility.
Okay, cool. I will have
that's
to
why
open
they're
those when I get home.
bagged.
Yeah.
The Darwin Cook one's really, really nice. I actually really like that Green Lantern one.
Okay. And then you notice I have another stack of books here. My wife, who I love and is awesome, one of her Christmas presents to me was a box of number 1s.
And you say that knowing she doesn't even listen to the show. You're not even kissing
Yeah,
up. You
no.
you actually love your wife.
No, she's awesome. So she went to a comic shop near her work and went in and said, hey, my husband really likes comics and I want to get him some. I don't know what to get him, though. Can you recommend some stuff? So this is what I got.
All right. I'm super curious. You told me about this over dinner, so let's see what's in there.
So, Mystery Girl number 1. New Management number 1.
Oh, but it's Matt Kent. I like Matt's stuff.
So he did Mind Management.
Mm-hmm.
This is the single issue finale to Mind Management. I haven't read any of the other Mind Management, but reading this makes me want to go back and check it out. Toil and Trouble.
Which was supposed to be very good. It's the 6-part miniseries, and it's the retelling of the Macbeth story.
Yes. It is very good. It's got a little bit more of the magic in it than I'm used to, and some of the names are like
The Fates and such.
yeah. So, The Valiant number 1.
Aw, Frugal Brutal. Look at you, buddy.
Look at that. Which is weird because I didn't know that the Valiant was a second superhero team in the Valiant universe.
Yeah.
And half of its members are also part of Unity, which is the other. So I'm like, what is this? X-Men and Avengers? Sons of the Devil, number 1.
That's Brian's, right?
Bucalato, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good book.
He wrote, he's writing Flash.
Yeah. Supreme Blue Rose, number 1. Very good. Mulan Revelations, number 1. Which I totally thought was like Disney's Mulan, but apparently there's like Mulan is an actual like Japanese legend. Yeah. Book of Death, The Fall of Harbinger, number 1. Also Valiant.
Yeah, it is.
George Perez's Sirens, number 1.
Okay. Oh, Sleepy Hollow Providence.
Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
And Intersect, which I feel like I need to do drugs before I read it. So,
Okay, hold on.
it's all watercolor. It's actually really interesting art, but it's a very, very non-realistic styling, I guess.
It reminds me of Mac, David Mack's work,
A little bit, yeah.
but not to sound rude, not as nice. Like, I know that sounds rude, but
Yeah,
it's
no,
true.
that's fine.
How was the book itself, though?
Once I started understanding it, good.
Okay.
The main character is I want to say schizophrenic, so it took me a while to realize that it was two different personalities talking from the same person.
Got it.
So,
Got it.
But overall, very, very, very good selection that I got there.
No, I like it. And it's
But like I was saying, like some of these are from like 2014, so I don't know. Like I think the Valiant was
yeah, the Valiant's an older one.
something, I don't know. Anyways,
All right. So, what are you going to review?
so I'm going to talk about two things real quick, or I'll talk about one, you can talk about one, and I'll talk about one, whatever. Real quickly, Mystery Girl, which is one of the ones that I got from the wife.
I love Albuquerque's art.
This is not that Albuquerque.
What?
You're thinking Raphael Albuquerque from Letter 44.
Yeah.
This is
Alberto.
Alberto Albuquerque. Still good art and kind of similar, but not the same artist.
Yeah, I just saw Albuquerque.
Yeah,
didn't look
I
at
did the
first
same
name.
thing. I did the same thing.
Oh. all right then.
So this one, it's about this girl in London who, when asked any question, knows the answer. That's not to say that she knows everything, but once you ask her a question,
She knows the answer.
she knows the answer. And she's she calls herself a sidewalk detective. So people will come up to her and be like, hey, my daughter's missing. And she's like, oh, your daughter's da-da-da-da-da. And like even the police come to her for help with cases and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting. So she has this guy come up to her and he's like, hey, we are trying to find this location. There was an expedition like in the 40s or whatever, and they found this location in Nepal, and they found the perfectly preserved remnants of a woolly mammoth. But all the documents that say where that was have been destroyed. And she's like, oh, I know where it's at. And they're like, okay, well, can you tell us? She's like, no, but I can show you if you take me with you. And then they're like, okay, well, whatever. And then you find out that it's not just a remains of a woolly mammoth. There's like an entire woolly mammoth colony in the middle of Nepal.
Like still alive?
Yeah.
Weird. Why did she want to go?
She just wants to see it.
Oh, all right. I guess that makes sense.
Really, like,
I would.
Yeah. And then you find out that there's some group that was also trying to track down the documentation from this thing, and now they're targeting her. So they're all issue 2 is probably them all converging in Nepal. And
Can she look in the mirror and ask a question? Be like, where are they now so I can run? Oh.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just thought that concept was really cool.
It's a very interesting
Yeah.
concept. Yeah.
But yes, this is issue 1. It was Paul Tobin, which I don't know.
The name sounds familiar.
I know I've read stuff by him. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But this was actually like from September, so it's still fairly recent. So there's probably only like 2 or 3 issues out.
You gonna continue with it?
I think I am.
Cool.
So yeah,
All right. The other thing you're going to talk about.
Invincible.
Yes, reboots.
Okay, so Adrian and I have talked about this. Invincible is now up to issue 128,
127.
27. All right, I was close. 126.
I was-
126.
All right.
So after 123 issues, there's a lot of shit that happened, and Robert Kirkman, Paul Tobin. Robert Kirkman was like, I need to do
How's that
something.
whiskey sour treating you, buddy?
It's gone.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. He's like, all right, we're gonna do a reboot, which most comic fans hate that word because it's almost never a good thing.
No. It's how to get Hal Jordan back.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fucking fighting words. So he's like, yeah, we're gonna do a reboot. So a couple issues ago, we talked about how Mark Grayson, Invincible, came into contact with this weird light thing on a foreign planet, and it sent him back to the day he discovered he had powers. So throughout issue 2 and 3, you see him going out, and he now knows all these things that are gonna happen. Like one of the things he knows is his dad's an alien that's actually there to take over the world. So he confronts his dad. And as he's confronting his dad, he's like, look, we get in this big fight, and you almost kill me, and then you run away, and whatever. So his dad's reaction is to punch him in the face.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So they end up getting in a fight anyways.
Not albeit not as brutal as
No.
the last fight they were
No,
in.
and they even mentioned that, like, his dad at the end of the fight's like, "I hurt you," and he's like, "Not as bad as you did in the other fight." They end up crashing into the headquarters of the Guardians of the Globe. Like, Mark directs it towards that, so they're able to subdue Omni-Man and lock him up, and like they're like, "Hey," he realizes that he was going to make a mistake, and now that he's stopped, he's like, everything that I knew I had to do, I didn't want to do, but
Does he finally admit that he loves the mother?
he does.
Oh,
Yeah.
touching.
So now Mark's going around and he, like, all the things he knows bad is going to happen, he's able to prevent them, save hundreds of thousands of lives that in the previous timeline the people died. And then in the second issue, he's confronted by this light
The
energy.
third issue.
Well, sorry, the second issue I'm reviewing, but yes, the third issue of Reboot. He's confronted by the light, and the light's like, "Look, we knew you would be able to save all these people. We knew we chose you right. But before we go any further, we have to have you agree to keep going." And Invincible's like, "Wait, I have a choice here?" And the being's like, "Yeah, you can stay here and you can continue to preserve life here on Earth and be a hero, or you can go back to where you came from." And he's like, "Look, if I stay here, I mean, I'm probably going to end up with Eve anyways," which is kind of arrogant now that I think about it.
Look at true love. You only get the one. Like,
Yeah.
you're destined to be with that one.
And he's like, "I'll probably end up with Eve and we'll probably have a kid, but that kid's not going to be the kid I have. I want to go back to my time and be with my daughter, Tara." And the being's like, "Well, this was unexpected. We thought you were better than this, whatever, but we'll send you back." So he goes back and he gets put back into his apartment and he's talking to Eve. And she's like, "You're back." He's like, "Yeah, I know. Like, I was in the past for a couple weeks, and but I decided to come back to you. And where's my daughter?" And he goes to see her, and she's walking out of the apartment, and she's 6 years old. Which, when he left, she was a baby. So he now missed 6 years of his daughter's life. And that's how the event ends.
Not quite how it ends. It ends on worse news than that.
Well, yeah, if you're talking about the fact that now we don't get another issue until fucking April.
April.
So in the beginning of the letters column in the back, Kirkman, he's like, "Yeah, I can't start waiting until we start getting mail from this issue to see what people think. We promised that the reboot wasn't going to erase everything that occurred, and we kept our promise. But it was always designed to change things. And a lot of changes with familiar characters going to happen. We're going to be diving into that when we return in April." Yes, April.
He's got to make more Walking Dead TV shows.
Well, his excuse is that Ryan Otley, who is a fucking awesome artist,
Yep.
has written the last 115 issues and wants a couple months off.
He's
Or
written.
drawn the last 115 issues.
He has.
Yeah. So he's like, after 115 issues of the series, Ryan Otley needs to recharge the batteries. And with all the big changes that it's undergoing, it's going to be nice for him to take a break and be able to really dig in.
I will totally give that credit for
Sure.
an artist to do
115 issues, that's a lot.
115, never missing one.
But Kirkman does say that between now and April, there's going to be a lot of Invincible-related announcements.
Well, does it count if he's all like, "Hey, 7 more weeks, announcement. 6 more weeks, another announcement"?
Yeah. Invincible is still awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I'm also going to discuss a Image book.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about Rat Queens. Not this issue specific, but the title as a whole.
So this book's been coming out for a while.
Yet only at issue 14.
Uh-huh. That's what I was going to point out.
So, Rat Queens, you read the first trade and it is fucking monumental. It blows out of the water. Essentially, I'm reading a D&D campaign. So the Rat Queens are an adventuring group. You have your cleric, your thief, your warrior dwarf, and your mage,
Okay.
or wizard. It's really awesome. They're on adventuring campaigns. It's completely filthy. They discuss fuck, cock, everything under the sun. They're vulgar. It's funny. It's great. Really enjoyed the first trade. Second trade, also pretty solid. Then something happens. The artist from the book gets accused of physically assaulting his wife.
Okay.
And Image drops him from
Sure.
the title. Sure.
I mean, sure. It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's fine. I'm not saying it's right to hit your wife ever. Jessica, it's not okay to hit me. But I don't think you should necessarily get fired from your job for it because it's two different means, but it does make you a fucking scumbag piece of shit person. Anyways, he gets fired. They go quite some time without an artist. And they get Stefan Sepik in, who does a fine job. I like his art. I don't love his stories, but I like his art. But the book comes back weak.
Okay.
Like the next story arc that came in, not very strong.
Oh.
So Rat Queen started really strong, came down, and as the issues keep coming out, it progresses worse and worse and worse.
Ugh.
To the point where it was like one of my first reads when I get my weeks, and now I'm all like, yeah. Does this end the arc so I can stop reading the book?
Oh, jeez.
So the reason I want to discuss Rat Queens is it's something that you brought up Invincible, and I was not going to talk about Rat Queens. I was actually going to talk about something else. But Ryan Otley,
Yes.
you mentioned you had 115 consecutive issues.
Yep.
Comes out once a month.
Ish.
Okay, every book always takes a hit every now
Right.
and then. But still, Rat Queens to be at 14 issues for being as old as it is,
Yeah.
not consecutive, not able to come out solidly, like that is a feat, I think, for Invincible to find. Take your time off till April.
Right.
With that said, there is a Rat Queens omnibus that has been released. It is a large black-bound omnibus with the first 10 issues in the one shot. If you read that and no other Rat Queens,
You're good?
You're perfect. You are solid. That is all I have for this week.
That's all I got.
We will see you guys in the new year. Bye.